Live.
Yup.
Yep.
What's up, Dragon Lady?
Dragon Lady, what's up, homie?
Right.
Fanboy Modeling School.
Hello and welcome to the Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fat Mantis, and I'm here with my man
Steve, real name, no gimmicks. Your friend to the end. What the hell's going on?
What is going on? There are no gimmicks. Not tonight, my man.
Oh, none.
Just straight up drama.
Insanity, bro.
I'm gonna punch a motherfucker in it. No.
Right in the dick.
Oh, great. That's gonna demonetize us, isn't it? But it doesn't matter. We'll join the club because everyone is getting demonetized this week, right?
Yes, indeed.
Dragon Lady says, "Where is Stephen Mantis?" Remember, it takes we'll give a couple of minutes for the dawdlers to come through. Hold up, what up? We got the Dragon Lady. We've got Shaolin Icebox or Holler at Your Boy. How is everybody tonight? What is up?
I'm chillaxing, man.
Oh, you're just yeah, I'm trying to relax. I have a stressful but enjoyable life. You know, now that I'm kicking it over on Autolus. Right? We need talented DJs.
Man, Autolus has become your new never mind. We endorse Autolus.
You know what? I thought of that exact thing. I was just like, I'm always looking for some company to shill over, and there it is. We've got the Pink Princess up in the crib. Hello, holler. Hashtag fangirls for fanboys. I love it. That's the greatest.
Shout out to Logie over in Rumble. We see you, Logie. We see you.
Rumble right now, so that I can,
Wouldn't it be great if YouTube set the algorithm where if you say the word Rumble, it's like, oh, knock it down.
Yeah.
But apparently some fools thought they can get away with saying some crazy stuff on Rumble. We'll see about that.
What was it?
Oh, it's your boys, Fresh and Fit, up to their old shenanigans again, man.
So let me ask you, is this full story or is this honorable mention?
Let's do an honorable mention, right? Maybe if I find a video, we can watch it. So essentially, you remember that Fresh and Fit had a beef with Abba and Preach. Abba and Preach being one of the most well-known commentary reaction channels on YouTube, man. Like, these guys made it cool to have one Rode mic in front of you. They literally proved spend no money. On anything, and they blew up. But they had a beef with Fresh and Fit where basically the events go as such. Fresh and Fit invited Abba on. Abba came on. Then they had both Abba and Preach on a video call, and they were talking to them about, whether or not you should pay for coitus, and does that make you, is that a bad thing? If you don't know what coitus is, it's the beast with two backs.
Are you saying to me or to the public?
To the public.
Yeah. I know what coitus is. I'm still trying to figure out the pay for coitus. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, prostitutes, women of
I know, but like, this is how low their channel has sunk.
No. So here's the thing.
I mean, come on. We all go on a party. We all get a little drunk. We don't talk about the things we pay for, though.
Listen,
what I'm saying? It's gentlemen.
So here's the thing, right? So Abba and Preach, they were for paying for it. They were like, if that's what you do, that's what you do. They took a very libertarian approach to it. Your side of the yard. But Fresh and Fit, surprisingly, took a more conservative stance, which they were like, we're looking from desire for women from women, right? We don't want to pay
But
to play.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
I don't think that's the conservative stance from their point of view. From their point of view, they're trying to play it off like they're pimps and they don't have to pay. And
So
I'm kind of a pimp and I don't have to pay. You
oh,
know what
you
I'm saying?
pay. Oh, you pay.
I'm saying as soon as I walk in the club, all the panties drop, okay?
So surprisingly, they, Fresh and Fit took that stance. It could very well be to suit and craft a narrative about who they are as alpha males.
Exactly,
But then
exactly.
they
That's
were
some red pill shit.
completely and utterly demolished, not only by Abba and Preach, but the fan reaction to this beef. So Abba and Preach confronted Fresh and Fit in a later video, I think a full year later, don't quote me on that. And they were like, they were critiquing the video that they were on with Fresh and Fit, and they came to the conclusion that they feel like it's cap. They felt like it was cap. Then Fresh and Fit responded, and what now is infamous, what I never thought they could top on their channel as an insane reaction to something. They start attacking Abba and Preach on a live. Myron, that's the more, that's the fit guy, takes a shot at Preach's wife and insinuates and makes monkey noises in regards to Preach.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did. So
What the
for even more meta context, people have been suspicious of Fit, that's Myron's inward pass, essentially.
Right,
They're
right.
like, is he black? Is he Arabic? Right? He's
Right.
Sunnis, right? And he says that he is Middle Eastern and he he's Arabic, but he is a black Arab, right? That is how he qualifies himself. His partner co-signed it, so people stopped questioning it. The beef was dead, and two just Pearly things recently ignited the beef again between them in defense of her own channel. So because of all the smoke she was catching from Abba and Preach, and remember I told you these guys are black belts on the internet, but they're also extremely intelligent, right? So they were just laying into Pearly. I mean, like free hub laying in, like 8 of them. There might have as well been 8 Abba and Preaches all surrounding Pearly on a white Wait, no.
You mean that's your fantasy? That's all these guys' fantasy. They're all the question is they're like, if we're nice to Pearly a little and let her get like an interview, can we run a train on her? And to be honest, I would not be surprised if that hasn't already happened on several YouTubers' channels. Like as soon as that camera comes off, yeah,
boom.
Well, and I said it. Sorry, Pearly. Not
speculation high. There's no way in my mind that Sneeko didn't smash.
Oh, he smashed the shit out of that. She's pregnant with Sneeko's baby.
And then he told her how deep he was and how confusing this was for him. But at any rate, Pearly,
she's such a simp. It's so hard to respect.
It's gonna be funny because Pearly is going to be at the end of this story, right? And she
shows finds her way into every algorithm there is. Every type of drama. Biden and Trump will be having a fight, and somehow she's going to show up at the debate.
Well, that's because Biden's going to bring her, and he's just going to be caressing her during.
Yeah, and smelling her. Oh yeah, and whispering things into her ear in the middle of the debate. Shaolin says, "Are you guys going to talk about the fresh and fit bitch asses?" I guess so, because it was like great minds think alike. And then he says, Fresh and Fit are the 2 biggest frauds in existence, true red pill clowns. I absolutely agree with that statement.
So, yes, I would concur. So, all right, Pearly reignited the beef in defense. She pulled a kung fu move, right? She pulled a YMCA red sash kung fu move, right?
I'm taking kung fu with the Y. Like one of the Power Rangers and shit. It was back in Angel Grove. That's where she learned.
Dude, I just want to say, Angel Grove, that little restaurant / gym should have been shut down. Could you imagine, like, being a kid and having to drink a frost, smoothie, and motherfuckers are doing karate kicks?
Karate kicks beating each other up. Putties attack all the time. What up, Lanio in the hazel?
So Pearly reignited the beef in defense of her own channel, and she brought up the fact that she felt that Abba and Preacher disingenuous in their response, and that they're solely just this reaction channel sowing false narratives. Then, out of nowhere, Fresh and Fit picked the beef back up, say that Abba and Preacher have been making multiple videos, and they did. And they made multiple videos refuting these fools and completely laying them out, right? they decided to respond. And I have to give you the surmised version because the first response, there was so many. But okay, actually, let me just lump them all in together because you're not going to believe me if I separate them. But let me attempt it. The first response was of Myron putting on an extension weave like box braids, making fun of Preach. And then once again, going back to what he now claims were not monkey sounds, but he was trying to insinuate that Preach is mentally handicapped. But he's walking around on camera with Sneeko and some other dude, right? And he's making these sounds, which he says were not monkey sounds. He comes back, defends that stance, right? And then, in the most amazing display of the lack of self-awareness and how to run like your business, he goes on Sneeko's live on Rumble, puts a white t-shirt over
Oh
his
my
head.
god, I saw a clip. I saw like an image of that on Twitter.
Yes, puts a white t-shirt over his head and goes on a Dave Chappelle, Black Klansman level rant with mad hard R's. But the problem is, it wasn't funny. It was just awkward. Because here's the thing, right? Oh my god. Like the stuff that they were saying back and forth to each other, I almost want you to play it so I can see if the audience thinks if we're being overly sensitive or was just a bad internet move, or is this racism?
Yo, I have to say, here's what I have to say about this. If you ever find yourself putting a white hood over your head, you need to reevaluate your life. And so before I play the video, this is my theory though. I don't think half of these guys are as crazy as they act. What it is that when you actually make it as a content creator, you start to believe your own hype.
Right.
You start to believe whatever shit you say is gold. People are going to love it. And you just go on a rant. You say shit you may have never normally said. And I'm saying this isn't a get out of jail free card. No, this motherfucker's canceled. But what I am saying, it's like intoxicating when people are all on your dick in a live stream, you know?
No, absolutely, man. But here's the thing. So someone posed a very good question. I can't remember who, but they said that Sneeko is banned on this platform. Fresh goes over to that platform and then starts wilding out and bugging. Do you think YouTube has a right to respond to that? Like, oh, we don't care that it wasn't on our platform. We don't want you on here if you're, you know what I'm saying?
So this is the problem I have with Patreon. And so this is why I don't use Patreon. This is why a lot of conservatives don't use Patreon. So I heard about it through Cindy Watson. You know Sydney Watson?
No.
She's an Australian journalist who lost her career and had to become a YouTuber because she said, "I don't believe that a man can become a woman." Like she said that.
Is that the brunette? Kind of
dark hair.
Yeah.
And she makes a lot of videos about the trans thing and erasure of women and stuff like that. And the first time when she found all her money got stolen on Patreon, and it was because of things she did on other platforms. When they sent her the email, they were like, "We see the things you've said on Instagram, on YouTube, and so we're canceling your account." And she was going to sue them, and then they gave her money. They canceled her Patreon, but they were, when they do that, they try to keep the money.
Right.
Unless you put up a fight. And so I will not use Patreon because what business is of it? What are they going to do? Stalk you on every platform?
Well, I mean, bro, this is
they're going to bring up your old Spoon streams.
You
dropped an N-bomb once on one of your
wait, well, they could probably buy those Spoon streams really easily. Like, yeah, we'll give you $5 in the Jolly Rancher I found in my pocket for every stream.
But that's what I'm saying. How far does it go? How much do you research? Where do you go? Why does it have to be everything?
Well, is it explicitly explained in the terms of service, which is the most important thing? Because you can say a lot of things you can want for a lot of things, but if you're going to use the argument that there's freedom of speech, but there's no freedom from consequences, and that these are privately owned platforms, then they have to be consistent in their approach, right? They need to have that written out and not just amended right after this infraction. Like this should have been a long-standing thing, but it hasn't stopped Twitch. And I can't remember.
All YouTube does is amend. They amend and they amend and they amend and they amend, and there is never clear why people get canceled. I know we're going to later on have a story about Matt Walsh, and usually this also happens to Steven Crowder all the time.
Right.
But they will let your video linger and exist and keep growing and growing in popularity, and then suddenly give you a strike months after you put it up. That's what they do to those two dudes.
Yeah,
They're always getting canceled on YouTube.
So interestingly enough, do you know who David Wood is? David Wood is a Christian apologist that spends a lot of time in the refutation of Islam, right? All his debates are against the highest scholars in Islam, or some of the highest scholars, right? And he amassed this deep video library on LubeTube, on YouTube.
LubeTube, that's that other site you go to.
He amassed this amazing catalog, but he kept getting demonetized, and he would get strikes and stuff like that. He even made a video on how he had become an expert of getting strikes removed and remonetizing his channel, like literally gloating, like how he's just had YouTube
he
reps.
talks his way out of it or something.
No, he just proves that they're violating their own terms of service in regards to.
I mean, does that work? I assume they just say
it worked for him, bro. It worked for him, and he made a great point on a live. He was like, I sent them a link of an Islamic apologist, and this guy was saying the most consistent things that you would think he would say, and they reinstated his channel. It's that type of stuff. But moving back to Fresh and Fit on Rumble, Fit on Sneako's page, man. There's a point that it gets so bizarre that it's just completely cringe. But then I guess to really explain why he had done what he'd done, Myron made a video on their own channel saying all the things you would expect him to say. If you're offended by a word, then you're a snowflake. You should not be bothered. If it's a joke, it's about the context. All those arguments, right?
Right.
And then he tripled down and did a stream with, now get this, catch this, bruv, with just Pearly Things, Nick Fuentes, right?
These fucking idiots.
He's on live with them after having, I believe, Sneaker. I don't know. I can't remember. But
they are straight. Oh my God. Pearly Things and Nick Fuentes are going to go down in history as the stupidest people on the internet.
Run that shit.
Let's do this. Okay, we're doing it, guys. So if you're sensitive, if you're a snowflake, don't watch.
Understand the stereotype is that black people are not evolved. And so he's saying preachers are unevolved.
Just in case you guys didn't realize, just in case they're making fun of black people, trying to make them look like monkeys.
Moral high
fucking
ground.
fag, trying to take the high road, trying to virtue signal. I knew your bitch ass was gonna do this, man.
I didn't think they were gonna do that.
If I saw your dumb ass in front of me, I'd hang you, motherfucker.
Moral high ground.
Oh, Sneako's like scared. He's like,
look at the guy in the background.
The only thing they added besides
they got nothing. There's a reason why they blocked me. They took their video down. These motherfuckers are pussies. Preach is crying right now, swinging from a monkey branch, eating a banana, playing some Donkey Kong on an N64 because he's a stupid prick. He's
no fucking way. I'm hearing this right now. You didn't want to play this video on our show? Are you insane, bro? You're like, I don't know. It's an honorable mention. You fucking holy shit.
Yes, bro. Yes, that happened on the internet. That happened on the internet. And this was his best thinking, his best response. And he thought in his mind, he looked at himself in the mirror before he went there. He's like, this shit's gonna be dope. Motherfuckers are gonna love me for this one. And it's just
yeah, absolutely.
Window licking stupid Nick.
What?
He's chewing
spade a spade. Mad respect to minorities. What the fuck? Stop!
No.
I want to get another one. What? I don't endorse this.
What's the
Seriously. By like a long
pause? Never ever compare that Myron dude to them fucking Jews, you motherfucker.
Why they elevated the stupid man is beyond me. I agree.
Okay.
Well, you didn't even catch what he just said, did you?
What did you just say?
Don't run it back. I forgot.
He said, "Don't run it back."
Don't run it back, bro.
It's too scandalous to play twice.
Well, he went after a people group that Kanye is still dealing with the ramifications for.
Holy shit. Okay, we're gonna play.
It's that moment right there that you just had, Mantis. That was you realizing there was a reason I said not to play this shit.
Wait. D says made it. Yes, D, you're here. Oh, lovely D is here. That makes my night. Yes, thank you all.
Jew 3, motherfucker. All right, don't do that. Don't do that. I will find you, you fucking
okay. I don't even know if we should keep playing it now. Damn.
Yeah, look at that look on your face, bro.
I don't even know what to make of this.
Yeah. And here's the crazy thing, bro. Here's the crazy thing. So obviously the internet has reacted. The videos are coming out. The thumbnails with Myron with a real KKK hood on his head. They're all over the internet now, bro. But yet there is a group of people defending these guys. And I leave it to you kind and intelligent people, you free thinkers in the audience. Was this a stupid response on the internet? Did it land? Did it hit? Or was this racism? you got to ask these questions, man. Now, remember, Myron is Sudanese, and he is technically a black Arab. Right? So, where are we drawing the lines with the N-words? Was this too far? How is this different from Dave Chappelle's skit on the Dave Chappelle show? What are your thoughts, Mantis?
That motherfucker should be locked up. N-word permission is such a complicated matter that they're like, I don't know, he's Nigerian. Should we let him say it? Like, kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? Or Guyanese. Like, do Guyanese guys get to use it? I don't know, man. I've heard different arguments.
Yeah, I've heard those same arguments. I've been involved in a lot of those awkward conversations. Like, hey, hold on for a second. We're just me and the brothers and I are just conversing right now. We're throwing some ideas back and forth. Oh yeah, what about whether or not we want to whoop your ass? So if you would just give us a second to finish this meeting.
Technically, my ass. Wait. What?
No, Bex is saying technically in regards to Myron being a black Arab.
Oh. This was pure racism, period. And can you be racist against your own people? Of course you can. There were definitely self-hating, all sorts of races, colors, creeds. Yeah, we gotta stop. We gotta put a stop to all this shit.
Wait. But what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on like what you saw? How did you miss this on the internet?
Of course, it's racist. It's like self-hate. Because once again, I feel like drawing the line, being like, "Well, I'm an Arab black," and doesn't make me really black. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah, right. Am I right?
Go ahead, you cooking, man. You cooking right now. You might land a role in Wakanda Forever 3. Keep going.
Okay, it's like one of my favorite. What is it? My that show that I loved, Black as Fuck, right?
Right.
Black AF. When the artist has the different speckles of black on the gray screen, and they're like, "What does it mean?" And when he explains his art at the end of the show. Yeah. He's like, it's because there's so many different ways of being black. There's not just one. Right, all of us are just different things, and it was very poignant. Yeah. Therefore he was including us light skins.
Uh-huh.
So,
and who gave him permission to get y'all some potato salad? No, I'm joking, of course.
I know secretly you resent me for who I am. I understand. It was pure racism. Myron hates on black women all the time. It's crazy because he can't clap back with anything other than racist insults. It's a clown. It's a true clown. I absolutely agree with that. And like, you know what? I never understood racism against black chicks. That is anyone who openly admits that, it's like they literally took the white man's pill. It's like, I can understand how a white guy can't handle a black chick. I dig it. I understand. There's too much booty. There's too much soul in the mix. Some white dude from the Upper West Side cannot fucking handle it. It makes sense. But I'm saying for a brother,
I just want to make sure I emphasize for all the sisters out there, Mantis, and he complimented your derriere, but he also said your spirit. So don't miss that part. All right? When you start making
you all know what I mean by spirits. And so but the thing is that like the fact that like a brother is like saying, he's like, I'm gonna take after that white dude over there and right. Chill on that's fucking soft shit.
So So you don't think this falls under,
Because
as DT Dub just pointed out, you don't think this falls under satire?
I think I think there is such a thing as crossing the line of satire. And so I'm saying, am I allowed? So what I'm saying is, am I allowed to like wear like a swastika and then be like start screaming all this racist stuff, and then later on be like, well, that was satire. I don't even know what he said he's being satirical about. Who is he mocking? Who is he pretending to be other than
He's
himself?
mocking Abba and Preach.
He's he's cursing them out is what he's doing. He's not mocking them. He's but I'm saying when you're doing satire, you're parroting somebody. Who was he parroting? Himself.
So do you believe
Himself being racist.
Do you believe in the masked face concept, that if the person is wearing a mask, they are less inhibited, and so the things that dwell in their dark soul will,
I
manifest?
absolutely do believe that. As you know, I'm a huge comic book fan, and I love masks. I hate that these movies are trying to remove the guy's masks.
Right.
And I think, honestly, when you become empowered when you wear a mask, and as you know, I'm a collector of weird masks. I have a ton of fucking both superhero and like horror masks.
Right.
And I tell you, when I put on one of those masks, the crazy shit it goes through my mind. It's like the mask is drawing me to either do evil or crazy sex shit. Like,
yes, that also is on the internet. But here's my thing about this, man. So let me just make sure I get it out the way first, right? I 100% do not think this falls within the lines of satire, right? I think it was an attempt at satire. I think it's racism first, right? I think they thought what really makes this even more offensive is that they thought that this shit was like hit. They really thought this was an intelligent response. He thought he was cooking in that video. You know what I'm saying? And when your boy is sitting there making faces like, and don't try to say Sneako was trying to play along. When your boy is sitting there and fucking he makes a face, the next video they do, the panel with Nick Fuentes, as if it couldn't get worse. And then with just Pearly Things and Sneako, they got so loose on that live. And actually, I want to give a shout out to just Pearly Things. Abba and Preach pointed it out. She wore orange. It's a good color for her. It really, she looked.
It stains easy. I'm just saying. But when your boy on camera is karate chopping your arm down, you've played the wrong card.
Yeah, you've gone too far. D asked earlier, can you be racist against your own kind? Well, the examples of that, I would say yes. Self-hating people from their own ethnic groups have historically led to some of the most atrocious things that we've ever seen in Black and brown communities. Some of which I can't talk about on this platform because they involve genocide.
I'm saying, a good example of this. I know it's a cartoon, but he's based off of an archetype of a person. But Uncle what's his face from the Boondocks,
Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah, Uncle Ruckus. Because he's always saying shit about like blacks. If you've seen which is it Boys in the Hood, where they meet the black officer and he's meaner to them than the white officers.
Yes, the infamous "I hate your black skin" scene.
Yeah. And so this is actually a real thing. This phenomenon is coming off of real life. It absolutely is very easy. During slavery, there were blacks in other countries who sold slaves. So obviously you could be racist against your own kind. Yeah, that dude, but that dude needs to be shut down. Like, this is not.
So has his free speech gone too far?
No, I believe in the perpetuation of free speech. I'm saying I want to personally cancel him. I want to boycott him. I want to get people to fucking hate on him. And that's my free speech. My free speech, I can go around and be like, this guy's a fucking clown.
Yo, man, Fresh and Fit have had so many fails in their YouTube career, man. They're huge proponents of free speech, and that's usually where people go, where they say some wild shit and then there are consequences for it, but they also have tried to have smaller YouTubers copy strike and their channels demonetized for critiquing them.
Oh,
This
of
is the
course.
thing. This is the thing. And they try to address it like, here's the thing about that. But, I figure we get the night started off a little something light.
A little light topic.
Light topic. We might as well
People are
jump.
doing Hail Hitler signs and shit.
We might as well jump right into freaking what's going on with Jamie Foxx.
Oh, so my man Jamie Foxx. So as we all know, a little while ago he was on set. He was filming something, wasn't feeling well, rushed to the hospital. People didn't understand what was going on. Within a day or two, his family kept saying, "Expect the worst, expect the worst, expect the worst. Prepare for they were basically telling me I thought he was gonna die."
Yeah.
And so it turns out that what had happened is he had a blood clot in his brain, and they had to do surgery. Or
allegedly, this is still alleged. For some reason, none of it has been confirmed by the family.
Oh, I thought that this said, and so after all this time of praying for him, worrying about him, all this stuff, he finally gets out. And once again, I think this is alleged too. I'm not sure if this has been proven too, but he is both blind and paralyzed.
Yeah, that's definitely alleged.
Yeah, and so what has inadvertently happened? And you know what? I can't fucking stand that they're making this man's pain. He's still alive.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if he was dead and they were talking, using him.
Yeah.
But these anti-vaxxers are, and this is what happened, what you see all the time on the internet. A young person drops dead, and they go, "I wonder what he died of. It's clearly the vaccine," and they they go on that whole rant. However, they're not doctors, and they don't know the person, and they don't know their medical history. So what the fuck are they going on about? Right? And so it's just crazy that they're like, "This dude died. I wonder how." I'm like, it could have been anything. He could have had a heart condition. You don't fucking know this dude. I see these people on Twitter. And so that's what they're saying. They're trying to say like, "Oh, the vaccine did this to him." How do they have any evidence that this has anything to do with the vaccine?
No evidence, still speculation. And YouTube, we want you to know that, hey, no need to put that bing bing whenever someone talks about the woo woo. That thing that shut down the entire country.
I have 3 shots. I'm a good boy. I took my vaccination. And I voted for Joe Biden 3 times, and my dead grandmother voted for him 8. So no need to delete this video.
Yeah, but so basically what happened is there was a reporter that just did an interview with Dr. Drew, and he says that he spoke to an insider in the family that reports that the situation is related to the shot. That they, somehow. Actually, if you want to play a video, I'll find it. Why
Please find the video, because I would like some sort of explanation, because I'm wondering how he feels he knows. By the way, guys, over on Rumble, when we started, this is like an old comment, but it's our boy Lo. We love Lo. And Lo, when he came in, he said, "So fun fact, a student I coached was just brought up on 5 counts of child exploitation. He got busted for asking his underage clients to hide cameras in their rooms and film them having sex and sending him the vids." Lo then says, "Always good to see a student success story."
Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ, man. That's really hardcore. That's what it is when you're a teacher. There's going to be kids who you eventually meet up with like years later, and they're like, I went to Harvard," and there's some other kid, he's like, "I'm a crackhead and I've stabbed 2 people to death."
So I can't find it. Just we're gonna have to rep someone else's channel really quick, but I did find it. I was trying
as long as it's not YouTuber X, I'm totally cool.
I just want to make sure that it actually at some point plays the video. Let me get it ready.
Rebeck says there are so many stories and conspiracy theories surrounding this situation. Yeah. D says they are saying that because the first vaccines were causing blood clots. That's not to say that, like, for all we know, like, I don't know how blood clots happen, but blood clots happen to even healthy people, and sometimes have nothing to do with vaccines. So we really don't know if it's the cause. But his case has become the poster boy for this situation.
Yeah, it's insane. It's taken on a life of its own, man, and it's it's all like you said, started out of a deep feeling and concern for him as a fan. Like I don't know Jamie Foxx at all, you know what I'm saying? But like I've grown up watching his movies. I remember
Yeah.
him on In Living Color as a kid. So when I heard about this, I was like, oh man, like I'm preparing myself when we get the call about Morgan Freeman.
Don't fucking say that. What is wrong with you, bro? You just jinxed this shit. If I wake up and he's dead, I am blaming you.
All right, I just sent you the video.
Wait,
You should
before we do,
start
I gotta say this. You know what's funny that you say you don't know Jamie Foxx? I don't technically know him, but I feel like I know him because he's been entertaining me my entire life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, some of his stuff would be considered problematic if we were to play it today. Like, he did a type of Shanae character on In Living Color.
Everything in Living Color would be problematic by today's standards. Remember Handyman?
Oh yes, yes.
Remember the movie critics, the gay guys?
Yes, yeah.
There was a ton. Yeah, and everything was like an anal sex joke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nowadays all of that stuff would be cancellation.
Yeah, no, you can't do none of that.
The 90s, man, I miss it. I miss it.
So the video starts at 49 seconds in is when I think he starts playing the video.
You sent that to me?
Yeah, I sent it to you in Discord. wait, let me catch up on the chat here. D says they're saying, okay, you read that one. D says my dad had to sign a waiver for my uncle. He was hospitalized with COVID, got the ding ding, and had a blood clot due to it. He almost died, but came through. Thank God. Praise God that he made it, D. Not saying this is the case with Jamie Foxx. Agreed. Okay. Bex is telling me to stop. Stop what, Bex? What did I do?
She's saying we're going to get in trouble if we keep talking like this. Like I said, I share, D, what you're talking about, I shared a similar anecdote about a coworker of mine from, on Spoon, actually, coworker on Spoon, and I got my video taken down for telling that story.
Really? What?
You know this. This is the me and Rogue Radio's our conspiracy.
Oh, right. Yes.
And when I shared that story about what's her face? I'm not going to tell what the story was, but like it was Real Psychology with Dr. Ina, and she was an old lady, and something happened, and YouTube doesn't want you to know what happened to her, so I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it. And am I a bad person because I'm letting them silence me? I don't know.
I don't think you're a bad person. Oh, you're referring to me jinxing Morgan Freeman? Oh, okay. I take that back.
Oh,
Listen, man. Morgan Freeman, Harrison Ford, Denzel Washington. If they all went in the same day, I'd go Lord and the Flies, like because clearly that's the last sign right there.
I'm going to say something that probably going to get people are going to hate on me for this. Denzel. Well, I guess Morgan too, but I see Denzel as the last like gentleman black actor out there or celebrity, and he's the front between classy actors and the filth we have now. And if something, God forbid, happens to him, like I love the fact that like when Will Smith lost his mind, he was the one who talked to Will Smith in the back, and he was like, "The devil comes from you at your highest moment, man. Don't let the devil get you."
He's like, "Yeah, I'm talking about your wife. What do we got to do to say?"
But I'm just saying, he's so classy, and all these young actors, they do not know how to act, man. They do not know how to act.
They don't know how to act, man. They don't.
What the fuck would we put into this universe? Said Laney, with cursing Morgan Freeman. Yeah, absolutely. I hate it here right now. Yeah, well, as long as Morgan Freeman's been cursed, oh man, that's breaking my heart. He just continues negativity, says Banks. Shaolin says we still have Michael B. Jordan. Yes, we have Michael B. Jordan. And the thing is,
do we though? Is his scandal just right around the window?
Oh my God.
I mean, right around the corner. Is it right around the corner?
We're jinxing so many motherfuckers. Tomorrow we're gonna wake up. Denzel's gonna be in a coma. Morgan Freeman will have passed, and freaking Michael B. Jordan will be on the cover getting arrested for human trafficking because we just jinxed their asses.
Yo, you know what's crazy? He responded to a woman who called him, or her friend called him corny, but she was in on the joke. back in the day, and he almost got canceled over it. And I'm like, wait, what world do we live in where you're gonna
He's
come
not
after this guy?
corny. Denzel has everyone's heart. Let's be honest. No, he's amazing. Denzel's the man. I think he might be my favorite like actor.
Yeah, hands down, hands down. You know what? If I had to build a raft, let me save the sentiment in the room right now. If I had to build a raft and we started getting people out before the shit came, I'd be like, all right, have the teams return with Harrison Ford, Denzel Washington,
Yes,
Keanu Reeves,
absolutely.
like, Morgan Freeman. Like, are they all here?
Steve ISTG? What does that mean?
Instigated?
Oh, Steve instigated. Okay.
All right,
and so now that we're out of comments, we're gonna have to play on this bad boy.
Run that
podcast. Now let's go straight to the source. Here he is, AJ Benza, speaking to Dr. Drew about what actually is happening to Jamie Foxx. Let's hear it out and then we'll talk.
I think that this ties into the Jamie Foxx theory. I worked my butt off to get a story about what happened to Jamie Foxx, because it was all baloney what they were reporting. He's playing pickleball. He's responding on Instagram. No, he's not. People do that for you. It's all lies. I had somebody in the room who let me know that Jamie had a blood clot in his brain after he got the shot. He did not want the shot, but the movie he was on, he was pressured to get it. This movie he's doing with Cameron Diaz. And I'm thinking, is that why he blew up on the set a week before this medical emergency happened? Is that why he fired 3 or 4 people because he just had it with these mandates? I don't know. But what I found out from the man in the room was that the blood clot in the brain caused him at that point to be partially paralyzed and blind. Because if you read into what they were saying early on, he's communicating with us. That doesn't mean talking. That could be anything. It could be.
Yo, by the way, Lainey says no. ISTG equals I swear to God, boomers.
Well,
I feel like every day I'm accused of being a boomer. I don't know how to use technology. I don't know all these letters. I don't know who can use the N-word anymore.
With your Uzi Verts and your freaking lean sips, you kids and your shenanigans
and your little dirks,
writing, sign, I know those little code words. And then
Dr. Drew's like, let me remove myself from the speculation.
You tell me your father's playing pickleball, give me a break. I don't know. There's a great shroud of secrecy around Jamie Foxx. He's probably the most multi-talented person we have in Hollywood. But even TMZ is not reporting this. And I know TMZ's got sources in hospitals who give them information, whether it's legal or not.
I remember Dr. Drew from Love Lines back in the day.
Oh man, quintessential radio listening. Loved that freaking
show. So check this out. When you're young, like your parents force you to go to bed or whatever. So I would put on headphones and listen to Love Lines in my bed.
Same, man. Same. Yeah. It came on B96 in Chicago when we had obviously I moved to Chicago back in the day. And I would listen to it nonstop religiously. I would record the episode. You know what I'm saying? And play it back on my Walkman.
Yeah, it was
that Laney Walkman in the house. That era.
Oh, does Laney even know what a Walkman is?
It's not Morgan Freeman.
She's not of her age group. She claims she's so young. She's so young and hip and fresh. We're like, Laney and Walkman. She's like, oh, what?
Laney walks away from us at the party. She's like, I don't know these two. Someone should definitely call their cars. Hit it.
Yo, Rebex says Keanu is definitely on my raft. Yo, by the way, Bex, I met a black man named Keanu. I didn't believe it. I did not believe that was. I didn't know black people use that name. That seemed like such a white name to me.
I know where you met him. He's a great guy.
yeah, like he is a great guy. But when he said Keanu, I was like, "What? Say that again?" And he said Keanu. I was like, "Okay."
Oh man. Well, we should look into trying to get on Sirius Radio. I think we'd be great on Sirius.
Oh, we'd be amazing. We'd tear all these fools up. Can we appreciate how great Dr. Drew still looks, says Rebex.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. He looks like an old man to me. Of course I know what a Walkman is. He's like, I know what a Walkman is. I saw my grandmother using one. How
what
was
is
he, Mantis?
Keanu?
Oh, how old was he? No, he's young.
Yeah,
He's
he's young.
young.
Yeah. He's young, very young.
Yeah,
He's an old
the
spirit.
blacks are moving into the white namespaces.
Uh,
Soon we're
w-
gonna meet. Yeah, soon we're gonna meet a white chick named Lolo.
wow. What is the guy's name on CNN that has the silver hair? What is his name?
Oh,
His name,
fucking Anderson Cooper,
yo,
the Silver Fox, right?
you get Anderson Cooper, you get Dr. Drew, and then you get Trump's vice president. What was that cat's name again, man?
Pence.
Pence. You get them together, and it's the battle of the silverbacks, right? that hair is so silver, man. It's
Yeah,
almost
so silver, man.
wrong.
You can see it from space because of the reflecting light.
The fly landed in it, and it could not leave during the debate. It's just like, what is this? How do I get out?
Yeah, so check this out. Did you know that Pence, when he was a young man, he was a Christian radio DJ
I did not know that.
on a Christian station, and he rode a motorcycle, and he was Christian cool back when he was young.
No, stop it, man. I did not know that. I don't believe you.
She says he looks like an attractive old man. If you,
Mm,
I'm not. It's not a white name at all. Where is that name come from? Because I thought it was a white name.
Keanu? Is it Yugoslavian? I don't know.
Yeah, right. Like, where else would it come from?
Have you seen John Wick 4?
I have not.
Oh my goodness. I gotta say this, and I'm ready for people to come after me. I did not enjoy John Wick 3 as much as I did 2. And I didn't enjoy 2 as much as I did 1, but I enjoyed in 2 that they build the universe. And it was, I'm like, oh, we're going for a ride here. I'm gonna tell you honestly, man, I think John Wick 4 is the superior movie. It is
I've heard
better
that.
than part 1.
Yeah, people are saying that that's like the best or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're dying to. They're like begging him to do another one.
Yeah. I don't know. The allegations are that it's in pre-production right now. So do you want to keep playing this guy or you scared
No,
that
as a
this
matter
is
of fact, what were we just talking about?
talking about Keanu Reeves and Black Keanu?
What
We've
does
gone
that
a
have
few
to do with our
decades.
stories? I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Don't say our stories, man. That really makes it sound old.
Oh, Spider-Verse. We got to talk about Spider-Verse.
Okay, let's
That's
talk
what
about
we really should be talking about.
I haven't seen it. Have you?
No, but we're still going to talk about it.
Okay.
I don't need to have researched something or experienced it or seen it or know anything about it to talk about it. Have you not figured this out yet?
Amen. Amen.
I am just one scammer. I'm one grifter on the internet trying to do his thing.
Hey man, I'm here with you. Remember to donate and keeps all you guys, sponsors, come here. We want you.
We
We're gonna have
want
a
you.
talk.
Speaking of things that'll get sponsorship, The Little Mermaid
Oh, boy.
is accusing, of course, Disney always trying to make their smokescreen, is accusing the internet of the racists saying, downgrading the movie on review sites
Right.
and doing all these other horrible things. However, Across the Spider-Verse has exceeded what it was supposed to do. It's getting great reviews. It's got made $120 million over the weekend.
Right. Right.
And so he's a black antagonist or protagonist.
Right.
Where is the racism for him?
Okay, you're really gonna make me say this out loud, huh?
Oh,
So, well, not a theory. I know what the public outcry would be if anyone asked someone that question, is that people are not supporting a black actress. You just stepped all
Oh, you're
in.
saying a woman. You're saying a woman.
Oh,
Her
no,
problem is
not
that she's a woman.
No, not a woman. Not just a woman. Black woman.
Okay.
See,
So-
this is what you're not grasping. This is a dangerous thing if you step into this conversation. So I just want to make sure you're ready.
Yeah, this needs to be discussed. Fanboy Modeling School is never scared away from the hard topics.
All right. So the obvious response would be that people will go see a movie with a strong black, or here's the other part of the argument, because Miles Morales is also what? It's half Puerto Rican.
So it's also Latino, but
Yeah.
he's
Okay.
basically black.
No, stop there. Stop there. Because then the argument becomes like you would rather go see and support a biracial character than versus.
But you realize that normies don't realize that he's half Latino.
I realize that.
No, but I say normies, like people who aren't like comic book
But
people.
we're talking about, the question was, why is this excelling and why isn't this? And I'm giving you the response that you would hear if you were in the right spaces. And so that is the argument, that you are not going to support this black woman in this role because of your intrinsic racism there.
My intrinsic racism?
Well, if you don't support it, yes. You hate black women.
I hate black mermaids.
Uh-oh.
I'm kidding. I don't have a feeling about black mermaids. Lady says he's very mixed, but Lebanese and Hawaiian, I believe. She knows a Keanu. She hangs with Keanu.
Okay.
D says, I love Spider-Man. Watched it this weekend.
I can't wait to go see him. Take my son to go see it.
I also saw The Little Mermaid, enjoyed it, but it was weird in some parts and could have done better. So I hear all the animated animals are so weird that it creeps kids out.
What?
Like Sebastian has weird eyes on his antenna. They put eyes on his antennas and like it freaks kids out.
He's a fucking crab.
But now they gave him eyes instead of just being.
Did he not have eyes in the original?
No, he had eyes in the original, but I'm saying they put the eyes on his stalks, on his stems. So now they added some weird fucking bulbous shit that makes kids freak out.
The talking crab doesn't disturb you, but the freaking eyes.
I'd rather it talk than have fucking bulbs on his fucking antenna. Yo, Matt Cat is here. Matt, we are talking about The Little Mermaid versus Spider-Verse. Now, guys, Matt Cat in the chat, he is a YouTuber and he did a review on Spider-Verse. I don't know if he did one on Mermaid, but he did one on Spider-Verse. So please check that out. See what he had to say about it. He says, damn it, I'm late again. It's okay. We all understand people have to work. People have things to do. I like Sebastian. Flounder could have been so much better. I feel like the animals are just freaky and like, I don't know. You all right?
I was just thinking, I'm really, really stuck on the Sebastian thing. But at any rate, man, I have not seen either movie, right? I have not seen The Little Mermaid, and I have not seen the new Spider-Man movie. I'm gonna go into individual commentary I've heard from other people. So in regards to The Little Mermaid, I heard from a coworker who's a Disney fanatic. She's by all accounts, you might call her a Disney shill. She supports all their early catalogs, all their current
she's
stuff.
A groomer. Obviously.
And she went to go see The Little Mermaid, and she's not a black woman. And she enjoyed it. She said it was the best live action they've done to date. Now, she qualified that and said that she's not a huge fan of the live actions, but of those, as a diehard Disney vault elitist, she enjoyed it. She thought it was really good.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating. Because that's not what I'm hearing from anybody else. So I would say, and I don't think she's in the chat, so I could say this. My sister is a Disney show.
Really?
You know, I love my sister. My sister is a Disney show. She absolutely loves it. She went and she said it was okay. And she likes other Disney movies, live action better.
Mid. Yeah, that's the response I'm seeing. I did see something disturbing on Instagram that was being passed around as if it was one thing. So I'm not going to quote anything as anything, just getting it from different sources. But there's a video floating around on IG of a woman having a confrontation during The Little Mermaid, and it was painted in a way that the narrative was, I thought this was supposed to quote unquote bring us together. But turns out that the reason that woman might have been spazzing out was she had her small child with her in the movie theater where a couple was getting X-rated. And that context was left out. So it wasn't
is that where the video of like the people fighting?
Yes. So
right,
apparently
it was a mess. Yeah, you're right. It was clearly like an unjust narrative. Matt says people will show up to see a person of color original character over a race swapped character. What do you think of that?
I believe that's tried and true, man. To be quite honest with you, I think there's a huge appetite from POC communities to see original representation and original characters, because it's like it's a new story. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something we're experiencing, even, or in some instances, it's like this is a part of who the character is. Like, what's the cat's name from Alpha Flight? you know, the ambiguous Native American they had in there.
Oh, Shaman. They call him. His name is Shaman.
Problematic. Problematic. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, we enjoy Black Panther. We enjoy T'Challa because T'Challa has been an amazing character throughout the years.
right.
Even in the golden age where everything is uber cheesy, right? Original character, man. So I enjoy original characters myself. I prefer for characters not to be race swapped, and I'm here to protect gingers.
Oh yeah, we need to keep our gingers alive, man.
Those freckle-faced bastards are going to protect us from the UV rays when we use them as human shields. Now,
So I saw a horror an article that wrenched my heart, was disgusting, and enraged me.
why
You
do
want to hear
keep
about it?
reading why do you keep reading the New York Post?
Motherfucker, this was the Times. But, so somebody said in a review of The Little Mermaid, they
Right.
said it was an all right movie, but it failed to show the children the horrors of slavery. And that because the movie takes place in the Caribbean and that it's a black woman and a white dude, they didn't address that there's slavery at the time. And so therefore the movie has failed the children. Yeah, that's what can you guess the political leanings of the person who wrote that article?
They're clearly a libertarian. Why are you joking?
No, we would never do that. It's some liberal.
The liberal shill media.
Matt says Spider-Verse was good. Little Mermaid is trash. Reback says I agree. The live actions haven't been trash, but this one was one of the best for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, it wasn't for me, Bex. D.
Ciao.
Child, not. I love how you always have to. I just don't understand. It spells silly. Child, not the gingers. Oh my god. I fucking hate people, says Bex. The fuck, says lady. I saw a video that all the gingers have been replaced with. Yes, absolutely. Ginger erasure is real. Whenever there's a redheaded character in anything from a comic book to a novel, they're like, make them black. I bet you anything Hermione is gonna be a black chick.
Oh, she's gonna get race swapped for sure.
Yeah. Oh, she's done for. Batgirl, fuck that. Oh, Batgirl already got swapped.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Is anyone safe? Yo, Jean Grey. Oh, they're gonna make Jean Grey black.
I do believe that the internet would melt down on itself, man. You can't see. This is the thing, man. You can't go around messing with stuff like that. You know
I
how many
would lose my fucking mind if they made it.
But you'd be okay with Cyclops being black? I'm not going down this road with you. I'm not going.
Make Cyclops black. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Black Cyclops is a more interesting story.
We were talking about gingers being erased. Okay.
But he's not a ginger, which is why it's okay to do it.
We're so far off the beat. All right. Reel us back in, Mantis. So when are you going to go see Spider-Man? Do you plan on watching The Little Mermaid? What's going on?
Here's the thing. I'm not going to see The Little Mermaid. I'm totally comfortable with that because I haven't seen any of the live action other than the Jungle Book. I haven't seen the original, any of these.
That shit's violent as hell. You remember when he threw the damn wolf off the...
That's why I went to see it, yo. That's what's up. That's what I want to see in my movies. But I'm not really interested. Here's what I'm saying. When I was a kid, I went to Beauty and the Beast and I loved it. But I went because I was a little kid and I didn't choose my movies. I was dragged to shit. Right?
Right.
So I have no reason to fucking see Hermione play Belle or whatever the fuck they're doing in these things. Cinderella. I don't want to see any of this shit. Right. So I'm fine with it. I will criticize it from afar. I'm totally comfortable. The thing is, I have to see Spider-Verse because everyone's saying it's so good. But the thing is, Transformers is this week. Flash is next week. Oh, when am I gonna have time to do this?
And you got to run a full radio station as well. Yo, let me just throw something out there, right? So I'm willing to go to the to the bone on this one, man. This is an important movie for my son.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Spider-Verse. This is an important movie for my son. My son rocks with Miles Morales heavy.
Well,
heavy.
I can figure why. Right?
He is not, he's asked questions about race. He just told his mother, who's Latino, the other day, referring to the North Star, like hearing about the Big Dipper and how essential that was during the underground railroad. And when I think his mom, my wife, questioned him about it, he's like, "Mom, this is black people stuff." So we're in that space right now. As you know, with our child, but he rocks with this character heavily because he is acutely aware that his father is black and his mother is Latino. He knows that his mom is from Colombia, knows that his father is from here and is of African descent. And so his encounters with Miles Morales are very, they're impactful for him. He's looking forward to seeing this movie. So in that way, I guess I'm a hypocrite because I didn't understand the draw to The Little Mermaid. But then in my defense, Miles Morales is this character. There's no revamping. You know what I'm saying? And like they're not changing or race bending him. That this is that character. So we're gonna go see it, man. And then you and I are gonna go see The Flash, right?
Right,
And that's gonna be
absolutely.
amazing.
And so here's the whole thing. Miles Morales earned his right to make this box office happen. And so it's not just the hard works of what's his face? It's Lord and Miller, those directors who did those things. They got fired off the Han Solo movie because they're too comical or some shit. These guys are great. It's great. I hear the animation is utterly amazing. They definitely earned it. But I'm saying the character Miles Morales, when he first appeared in Ultimate Comics, people fucking hated him, and they hated him for years. And he had to earn his right to be cool.
Yeah.
He paid his fucking dues. This isn't Miss Marvel or some shit who premiered last week.
No. It's a lot of story arcs, where Miles Morales had to rep. And in fact, you know what helped Miles Morales along? Shout out to Sony Gaming. Miles Morales represented in the Spider-Man games.
I love that game. I love that game.
Perfect, bro. Like this
overpriced,
is
but
overpriced for sure.
Yeah.
Perfect. Go for it.
They made Hermione black in the play. I'm sure they did.
They did.
And I'm sure they make Hitler black in every play.
What the hell? What did we just learn from Myron, you psychopath?
No, he salute. I'm just saying, like this is the race swapping that they're doing. That's so funny that probably like a year ago I would have been like totally fine with race swapping. I'm like, yeah, it's all right. It's all gravy. Now I'm sick of it. I'm just like, can we just fucking? It's just crazy. I'm so excited for The Flash, as Max D says. He's gonna enjoy it so much, Steve. You're talking about your son. Did she do a bombastic side eye, D? By the way, I did a Little Mermaid review, and my Spider-Verse 2 review will be out tomorrow, but I loved it. I saw your tweet about how you loving it, so I thought that was the review. I'm
gonna check out Matt's video. D's referring to my wife and my son when he said this is black people.
Black people. Yeah, I mean, I wish he didn't say that. I wish he didn't. I didn't wish. So I hate identity politics. So I wish your son didn't get brainwashed by the white man. But I don't know. There's still time to change.
It's still time for Uncle Roy to turn it around.
Yeah, I'll turn this shit around, man. But like, because my point is like his mom can engage in a conversation about the Underground Railroad. She doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He's a kid, man. His brain in like from that moment he went to, am I gonna have grapes and strawberry and grapes? Do I want to put hot dogs on my strawberry?
I know, but I don't want him to become a liberal.
That will not happen under my watch. That will not happen under my watch.
Matt says, yeah, Disney live action remakes are garbage. Yeah, no, I feel you. So this is pretty crazy that I feel that Matt's comment earlier like really sums up what we're talking about in terms of Little Mermaid versus Miles Morales. Miles Morales was an original black character. People have accepted his blackness from the beginning and therefore are willing to embrace him, just as they did Black Panther.
Right.
However, when you turn a ginger black, people will rebel. Which is funny. You know what else they're rebelling against? Fast X.
Yeah.
Fast
Heard
X
that
is getting
shit is-
shit on.
Oh, what's up, Michelle Rodriguez? Forgot that your wide range of character acting.
She always
that
plays
carries
tough
this
chick.
movie?
Tough chick. That's in the script. They literally write it in tough chick.
When they're writing it, they're writing her name under it. And I love Michelle Rodriguez. I just thought her comments about the MCU were completely, insane.
Everyone's going for the MCU, and you know why they're going even extra hard now? Because the MCU is so weak right now. MCU's not bringing it.
I still haven't seen Guardians. I can't believe I didn't go see an MCU movie in the theater. Like I've never.
That's how the brand has slipped. You don't realize that you're fed up with it, but you are fed up with it, right? And I am too. This week, you know what? This week, I have to try to find a way to both see Transformers and Spider-Verse. Maybe I'll do a double feature.
Matinee, man.
Like work.
You don't work
Fucking
on
jobs. Jobs are the fucking shit. Oh wait, they cut my hours. I have a half day on Thursday.
There you go.
There you go.
So it's still
Thank
jobs.
you, Evelyn.
Whoa. At any rate.
You see what I'm saying? So basically, I'll do a double feature that day when I get out halfway.
There you go, man. But I'm so looking forward to the Flash. But back to Fast, right? Fast X, Facts. Well, I don't even know where we're at anymore. They're in space. I don't know what's going on.
It's that insane.
Who's watching these movies, man? I need to
you know what's crazy? This movie's doing bad, but the last movie did amazing. People were into it.
They're in the $1 billion club. They're a high earner traditionally for Universal, right? It's Universal Studios that produces that crap.
Yeah, Universal's doing good. They're watching Warner Brothers and Disney fight, and they're just collecting all the money while these idiots fight over superhero movies.
Not this time, because this bombed and that last Jurassic Park movie bombed too. So stay in your lane, Universal. Stay in your lane. Hey man,
but they're behind Mario.
Oh,
the movie that's taking down Disney animation. Fuck yeah.
I didn't mean to ask you. I think I asked you this before. Have you watched the new Puss in Boots movie yet?
I haven't. Everyone says it's amazing.
It's freaking amazing. What are you waiting for?
An invitation.
An invitation for the fucking movie?
It would have been nice if you asked me to come with you and your sons to go see Puss in Boots.
I didn't see it in theaters. They put it on at home.
You know what? I'll bootleg it tomorrow. I mean,
whoa. All right. Here's something I really, really want to talk about, man. I know we've been getting off on some red pill shit, man, but it's like fucking, it's crazy what's going on. Andrew Tate on BBC. My God. How many times does this need to happen to some poor reporter?
My tweet about this got love, though.
It got mad love?
Yeah.
What'd you tweet?
So I simply said, I said, I saw what happened to him. In my opinion, this is what happened. And I said, he simply asked to be respected by the reporter, and she was unwilling to do that.
Yeah.
Crazy. And man, people were sending me love about this.
Yeah, because that's what happened. What he actually said is, you don't exert any authority over me. I've allowed you to come into my home. I have allowed you to interview me. And she's like, right. But the way this interview goes, governor, is that I ask you the questions. He's like, yeah, but I'm not under your authority. So where does it say I can't ask you?
Basically, he asked her to stop being aggressive. He's like, can you just hang out with me and, be a normal? This is what... Here's what I'm saying. If you don't have supreme power, that's how interviews go. You know it. You interview mad people. Conversations that matter, right? Yeah. I've interviewed some people, and I know that I'm a nobody, so I need to be nice.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I dislike the person. I have to still be nice and be like, hey, how's it going? So that third movie you made, right? And so why aren't they like that to him? She has the fucking audacity to come to this man's house.
Right.
And be aggressive and mean to him in his own fucking house when he invited.
But here's the thing, man. I don't think that if you want to prove a point, prove his point, because you're doing it extremely well. When he refers to the disconnect between the youth and legacy media, right, which he does really well, he completely lined this woman up. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the second instance of something like this happening. The first time with Jordan Peterson, right? And now this just stokes the flame of something a little bit deeper than the red pill, right? It galvanizes his supporters.
Yes, his base, his supporters are all galvanized. We look at it as he's being victimized by these idiots. But the thing is that why does the legacy media think they can go around and bully people?
Because
Like what kind of interview strategy is that? What way to run a business is that?
Honestly, man, I can't answer that question. I would love to hear them speak on it. When I look at institutions like the Post, Daily News, or when I look at institutions like, Channel 7 News, Eyewitness News, remember when Fox had, anyway, Fox News, right? These places really do feel like they have a stranglehold on information. And I will say that in regards to the more liberal of those entities, they will character assassinate people that they feel like, I think they feel like are getting too much pull, right? So in the world that they envision, there's no way that this illiterate, they would quantify him as, uneducated man should be able to speak to someone on these subjects and the authority that he does speak to them at their station. And whether or not they would admit to that, she's coming in, interviewing him during the midst of allegations that he's facing, and she's not even willing to hear him when he says, well, those charges were dropped. You understand what I'm saying? So the audio is horrible on this. Crazy thing is his support. So a part of his business model, Andrew Tate, is he has little YouTube channels, allegedly, wink, wink, that repost content of his from, Tumblr and shit like that.
That makes sense.
And one of those channels had 5.1 million views on an interview that happened, yesterday? Right? And then his response today, that one had like 4.1 million reviews. It's insane. It's insane, bro. Those numbers.
Let's check this out.
Andrew's just released a new interview with the
This is
BBC.
the guy.
If you want to join the real world, we have a link in the description.
British people and their voices.
Andrew Tate. Hello. You've agreed to do an interview with the BBC today.
Yep.
The material is going to be published on television, on radio, online.
Perfect.
We are doing an interview with you because you're facing some very serious allegations.
Correct.
Rape, human trafficking.
Yep.
And also because there's a great deal of concern about the things you say and the impact that they have on young people, on women.
I don't think the concern's about the things I say. I think the concern is for the level of influence I have and the reach I have.
Word.
I would argue that a lot of the things that are already out there inside of the legacy media and the matrix as a whole are far more damaging than the things I say.
The concern about the influence you have being a harmful influence, but let's start with the allegations.
Not necessarily a harmful influence. The fact that I'm massively influential over the youth, and I understand that. But it's my influence as a whole which people are afraid of, not necessarily the things I say.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely not.
Whoa.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely.
Wait, hold on. Do you think he has graped or trafficked anyone?
I mean, no, based off of what's been presented until like there's some concrete evidence. I don't see, you know what I'm saying? How can I make that I can't speak to his innocence. I can't speak to his innocence or his guilt at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like all I can say is this: if he's guilty, he's gonna do time, and he should do time. If he's not guilty, I would like to see the people who accused him publicly arrested and thrown in jail.
Right.
Exploited any women for
Absolutely
money?
not.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
No. Firstly, let's begin let's start at the beginning. I'm facing charges. The first one you mentioned, the rape one, is already thrown out by a judge because there's no evidence of it. Secondly, it's very difficult for me to sit here and have a very frank and honest conversation with you while we're in the territory of Romania about a legal case that's going on within Romania. I have to protect myself. I've agreed to do an interview with you, and I want to be as honest with you as possible. But I can't incriminate myself in any way, and I have to be very careful with what I talk about.
There are no charges yet.
Correct. There are no charges.
There are no
charges, and I've agreed to speak to you, but I have to be as honest and frank as I can while also protecting myself and following my legal counsel.
So let's talk about what you've said yourself then. You have said on the website, for your original website for the Hustlers University, that you emotionally manipulated women to fall in love with you so that you could get them working in the sex industry for your financial gain.
As I said, I have to be very careful with what I say, but let's put it this way. No women are coming out against me and accusing me of doing it.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. Who?
There's testimony
Great
in the
argument.
current investigation.
The current investigation,
other
which I cannot
women
discuss, which
disclosing.
I know intimately and you don't, I can tell you right now that the women who are in this case file, there are 2 American women who have been caught already admitting they're lying, and then nobody else is accusing me of anything.
To begin with, it's very common in cases like this that the alleged victims do not always see themselves as victims.
Well, that's very interesting.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And so I want to attack that comment right there.
Here we go.
There's always this whole thing, particularly with the SEX situation, in terms of crime, that people think it should not fall into normal crime rules. Like some people are like, there should be no statute of limitations for these types of crimes. Why the fuck not? Statutes of limitations are there to protect humans from false allegations that happen years later. Even our founding fathers knew this. But in this day and age, people don't realize. They're like, we should be able to fuck with somebody at any time. They should be able to accuse you whenever. At any given point, someone who knew you 20 years ago should be able to say, yeah, he used to bang me in the shower. You have to come forward in a certain amount of time. And so her argument, when he says, his argument is, no one has come forward about this to complain. She's like, yeah, but in these types of cases, they don't normally come forward, implying that there's a magical, mystical, invisible number of women who are accusing him but aren't.
Right.
How fucking convenient.
Or that they don't see themselves as victims. And what Andrew's doing here, man, in regards to his argumentation. So he's already said that I can't really speak on the subject and I don't want to incriminate myself. And she's like, well, let's talk about things you have said. Well, wait, which part of the statement, the previous statement, did you not understand? But okay, let me elaborate. And he's showing a certain level of being very lenient in this conversation, man, where I would not have given her these liberties. I'm like, excuse me, wait, what? Okay, so this is not an interview. This is turned into a hostile interrogation, right? All right, cool.
So this kind of reminds me of the mistakes they made in the Trump town hall.
Right. The liberals. You're talking about legacy media, right? Like
yes, legacy media, liberals. Why do they send women to become hostile toward men who have a history of being misogynists?
Well, for the obvious reason, it's like, who doesn't want to see a lamb get ripped up by a lion?
So you're saying she was sent to the slaughter, right? She was sent to
well,
the
they
slaughter.
know this is going to be wildly entertaining. They know it's going to be wildly contentious, right? They know that she's going to argue her point, he's going to argue his point, and at some point they're hoping that this whole conversation disintegrates into either name calling on its best day or just outright two people talking over each other. Just think about that for a second. When's the last time you seen two people with differing views on, say, CNN, where there wasn't a moment where there was complete chaos between the two little boxes?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? We had this guy who black candidate that's running for presidency from the Conservative Party. He went on The View. At one point, Whoopi was hugging Sonny or whoever that other light-skinned chick's name is, because the things he was saying were so egregious that she had to get up and hold her sister. Right? I'm just saying that's the theater that we're getting right here. That's what this all is, bro. You remember back in the day, you studied Rome in school, as I did, and you remember that a part of being a senator was being able to use your hands in these grand proclamations and gestures.
Right.
Nothing's changed.
You're absolutely right. You are so right on that. Absolutely. This is just Rome again. And it's was it Caligula who said bread and circuses? And he said, as long as we give them bread and circuses, they'll be fine. That we can do whatever we want as long as they get bread and circuses. And this is our circus.
Right.
Watching them fight. And they're like, Andrew Tate, dance for us.
Yeah, the stimulus checks were our bread. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, absolutely it is.
I need my bread. I need more bread.
I need more fucking bread. You guys don't give me enough bread. I'm about to rebel. About to have a revolution on your hands from the Mantis Squad, bitch.
It's actually extremely interesting because if I was a matrix-controlled organization, my goal was to slander somebody and try and destroy their name, You're telling me that they've chosen a crime, which one is heinous, of course, because it damages the person's credibility. And two, you're saying that even if everyone else involved, if you have 5 people and everyone's sitting there saying, no, nobody's hurt anybody, we like Andrew, we've all worked together, we're friends, etc.
That's not what everybody's saying.
No.
Let me read you some of the testimony from the current investigation.
Can I finish?
One of the witnesses said.
Can I finish, please?
You're not answering the question I've asked you. You're not answering the question.
I am answering the question. You're saying.
Let me read you the testimony of one of the.
Yo, he is answering the question, and who is she to fucking interrupt?
Right. She's an interviewer, the highest station in the land. Did you not know this? Were you not read in?
Okay, so here's what makes her the lowest station. She's British for starters, with a disgusting fucking accent, and so it already makes you beneath me as an American, someone who rebelled against you and has a better fucking country than your shit, your pile of shit stained rocks you call a country. Right. And then also she's a journalist, and you know how I think about journalists. But who the fuck is she to be interrupting him? She should have humility. She's in his house. She should not be interrupting him and let him finish his thought.
Do you think she would have interrupted Saddam in his peak?
Oh no, Saddam would her head would be cut off. Her head would be cut off if she tried to get out. You know what I'm saying? Right. At least he's gentlemanly enough to he's like, I'm gonna let you live. Which he doesn't need to, because it's Romania. You can do whatever the fuck you want in Romania.
Well, some people might say that's why Andrew Tate is there. But I guess he found out otherwise.
That is why Andrew Tate is there. I think he's clearly guilty of something. I obviously don't have any evidence against him. D's throwing up those skulls. Matt says, yeah, I saw that shot on The View. Sonny and the rest of those cackling hens are weak ass bitches.
She was crazy, man. It was absolutely crazy. Roll it.
You're saying the people who are involved in this, even if they say they're not victims, that they're still going to try and attack me and pretend they're victims.
Treated as victims by the case that's ongoing. And not all of them are saying that. One of the witnesses says,
we can't go into the case. The case is open and active.
Well, let's just be clear that not all of the witnesses in the case are behaving in the way you describe. And even those that are, it doesn't bar them from being treated as victims by the prosecution, by the case.
We have an open criminal investigation. I am absolutely not really sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files and the evidence against me and you haven't. I know the truth of what happened and you don't. And I'm telling you absolutely not really, I've never hurt anybody, that the case that's been put against me is completely and utterly fabricated. And I'm never going to be found guilty of anything. And it's very difficult for me to answer your in-depth questions because we're sitting here inside of the territory of Romania. I'm beholden to the Romanian legal system. And I'm not going to incriminate myself because you're trying to.
Why does he even live in?
You are wrong. And we're going to have to accept that for now and talk about something else.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think that's
exactly what
no,
you said
that's no, I've never said that. That's something that you found on the internet. Doesn't mean I've said it. And again, once again, if any female on the planet has a problem with me, I strongly recommend her to go to the police and try and pursue me for criminal charges. It's actually very interesting that me, one of the most famous people in the world, who's been vilified by the legacy media and places all over the internet, while everyone has attacked me from every single angle, while federal agencies from multiple countries have called over 2,000 women who know me, we stand here with 0 new accusations since my arrest. 0. If you took any famous person, any man of substantial, and you called 2,000 women who knew him, you'd find an ex-girlfriend is upset, somebody who wants money who's upset. They called 2,000 people who knew me and could not find a single woman to make a new complaint. The only complaints they have against me are the initial complaints, which we can prove are lies, and that's where it stands. So I'm not going to sit here and allow you to pretend that I'm some kind of evil predator, when actually I'd argue the fact that people who've been investigated to the level I've been investigated to, if you take the average man on the street and investigate his entire life for 14 months, call everyone who's ever known him, and vilify him in the media, and encourage people to come forward for money, and you try to contact every ex-girlfriend that's ever had.
Would come forward and accuse those people of rape and accuse those
I
people
think that you would have a lot more. I think you would have a lot more flack than I've got. I'm actually such a nice person that I've never had anyone come.
The BBC has spoken to somebody since your arrest who says exactly those things. That with you, it's all manipulation. There's an ulterior.
Is this so?
Yo, I have to say, he is fucking right. And that's why I actually hate all these accusations. When someone's running for office, when someone's buying Twitter or whatever the fuck people are doing, whenever they're doing an active thing, and then someone's like, there's an accuser of you from 15 years ago, I
Right.
roll my eyes. I'm like, this person was paid. This is some trumped up shit. You know, like
Right.
Donald Trump suddenly gets a bunch of rape charges against him when he runs for president. Okay, I fucking get it. I see their game. But what he's saying is they are desperately looking for women who will say they're abused by him.
Right.
There seem to be none other than the one or two who are part of the thing.
Right. Nothing.
And
that
if
they
he was a serial trafficker and webcam slaver or whatever,
Right.
there would be more.
So here's the thing, man. We have to allow for the possibility that all of this stuff could be true about Andrew Tate, but the proof of burden falls on whom? The people
state.
making the accusations. And if you cannot produce anything, then that means you have made false accusations against someone, right? And this is why I hate the term acquittal, because acquittal leaves room to believe that we just couldn't prove it. No, I
Right.
believe in a court of law, you are either found, because there's no go between in my guilty, right? You know what I'm saying? You proved me guilty, I'm doing time, right? So you either prove that I'm guilty, and if I'm innocent, I am innocent. I was not acquitted of these crimes. Like, you could not prove it, thus my innocence. But this is all insanity, right? Because what's happening here is the part that really I found interesting, right? Was after multiple times saying I cannot commentate on an ongoing investigation, blah 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 blah, right? She then brings up a person. We at the BBC have found someone that says everything with you is about manipulation. And again, here you are violating the terms, I hope the terms he laid out for this interview, right? I've had people on Conversations That Matter who I categorically disagree with, right? But I allow them the opportunity to share whatever their experiences.
That's what a civilized freaking man does. You let them have their moment, right?
And you know, I have no qualms about debating a person on a point, but during an interview, that's not what we're there for. An interview in nature is supposed to be about people learning more about the subject of the interview, right? I didn't go to journalism school. There are many different forms of interview, but the types that I do are about, you know, character revealing interviews, that type of stuff. This was a hostile interview. I'm surprised that he took it, but again, he's a master at what they have not mastered yet, right? Right after this, he releases his response to it and then tells the media, I will no longer be doing interviews with you unless you pay me $50,000 and a cupcake. Then I will find it worth my time. And his followers, of which there are millions,
Right.
doing numbers the CNN YouTube channel would never do or can't do on their own live broadcast, right? Completely galvanized. Completely
I think it's funny that like people make jokes about like they're like, Mantis, you don't know how to do blah 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 in StreamYard, you're a boomer, and obviously they're joking around, right?
Right.
And like all this shit. You know who is the ultimate fucking boomer?
Who?
It is legacy media, because
Yeah.
they can't predict the moves of YouTubers. Like
Right.
this guy is outsmarting them. He's playing chess, they're playing checkers, and
Right.
somehow they were unable to keep up with this dude. He's dancing around them. And here's what I'm saying: he's not the first. He's
No.
not the first
No, to make a
non-legacy media person.
That's what Trump does really well. And to correct you, my brother, they're not playing checker. They're not playing checkers, right? See, they think they're playing chess, but they're playing Chinese checkers. They think because there are a few extra moves that they're allowed to do that they're now playing a higher form of game. And when it comes to the game of social capital and social engineering, they're completely disconnected with the way that things work on the internet, right? And the
Right.
internet is all about perception. And, you know, we'll take some facts too, right?
And
It's about the person
they
who
don't realize that this type of interview only makes people side with him more than them. Some hostile white bitch coming at you with questions.
Right.
Okay, whatever. It's fucking ridiculous.
Everything.
Is this Sophie? Oh, it's Sophie, the fake name, no face,
I was so
the story
intent
that
on
was
wanting
invented.
to please him and wanting him to be happy that I was just kind of, yeah, okay, do whatever you want.
And what is she
That's
accused?
what
Is she accused me of a crime? This imaginary Sophie?
She's making the point that there is
Has she accused me of a crime?
emotional or psychological manipulation.
I've asked you a question, and I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you a question.
Correct, but you're not the boss here, because I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you the question.
Correctly, and I'm telling you.
You get to decide the answers.
No, we're equal here. I've allowed you into my house. You don't come here with a position of authority. I'm doing you the favor as legacy media, giving you relevance by speaking to you. And I'm telling you now, this Sophie, which the BBC has invented, which there's no face of, nobody knows who she is.
The BBC did not invent.
Of course not. And because you never invent anything. And she's not filed criminal charges against. What are we talking
yes.
about? What is she
yes.
About emotional manipulation
Has she,
in the sex industry for your financial gain.
Absolute garbage. She has not filed criminal. This person, if they exist, has not filed criminal charges against me. I welcome anybody who believes I've harmed them, male or female, any point in the past to file criminal charges against me. I will fight them. I know who I am, and I know what I've done, and I know the truth, and I know that I'll be found innocent of this attack. The reason I'm being attacked is because of my massive influence, not because I've ever hurt anybody. And for you to sit here and say that everybody around you is saying you're innocent, but that doesn't matter because the state will say they're victims, and they're just going to grab everybody you know and call everybody victims, even if they say they're not, and try and put you in jail. You are describing a matrix attack. You're not describing human trafficking.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human trafficking.
We will see what women go. We will see what women go to court at the end of this trial.
That's funny that she's saying, "Can I finish?" when she wouldn't let him finish his answer.
Right.
What a disrespectful cunt.
Oh man, this is on one tonight. I almost want to juxtapose this interview with the Jordan Peterson, now infamous interview, and I believe that was also with the BBC. But I love that he immediately uses another great tactic in his argument where he says, this person that has no picture, right, doesn't have a real name, no proof that this person exists. Did they accuse me of a crime? And she's like, well, and it's like, well, allow me to build this straw man argument, right, about how this is relevant.
It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
No.
And he's sunning her up right now.
Right.
She's using old school, idiotic, once again, legacy media tactics. And it surprises me how boomerish they are.
So I'm not even going to use the term legacy media, right? Because someone can latch onto that and they'll say that we're just shills for Andrew Tate. No, here's what I'm actually saying. There are people that understand the way that people do have these conversations now on the internet versus people who don't understand it. And a good example of that was what happened to poor Rollo from the Red Pill in regards to his conversation with Destiny and Sneeko. He was not ready to argue, especially with a guy like Destiny, with people who know how to debate at that level and at that speed with that ferocity, but in a way that is palatable to the younger folks on the internet, bro. If you don't know how to do that, then you're lost. She's having one conversation. He's already presented a contrary to it, which is that, there's a chance that you made this person up. No one knows who she is. And it's like, well, you can't attack our credibility. The BBC's never made up anything. And boom, she walks right into it. Yeah, you have. And then even if that's true or not, since people have such a deep-rooted disdain for the media, right, or the media, the corporated media, they're going to latch onto that. And that's what they don't get. That's what they don't get about Trump. That's what they don't get about DeSantis, right? They don't understand that these guys are already laying the seeds for you not to trust them even further.
Right. Absolutely. Well said. Let's see what this bitch has. Not that I've taken the side already, but
we are objective.
Women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human
Sophie hasn't gone to court. Sophie doesn't exist.
I'm describing women who have spoken to the BBC at length.
Sophie doesn't exist.
And other media organizations about what they say is emotional manipulation and coercion. And I'm quoting back to you your own.
Also, I have to say, I also have to argue against what is emotional manipulation. Like that's not a crime.
Right.
What I'm saying is, like, she keeps bringing up emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation is when your girlfriend is like, "You're really not gonna, go shopping for me? I've had a long day." That's emotional manipulation. What she is describing is some vagary. And what it is that women, particularly liberal women, have this trigger in their head when they're like emotionally manipulated, and they think about every time they've been abused by a man.
Right.
That's what they're projecting onto him. But like emotional manipulation can be fucking anything.
Bro, I'm surprised you didn't hit the button. That was perfect timing for emotional damage.
I was about to do it.
Emotional damage.
I agree. I think I think a lot of times there are people, women, that use this term, and you use the great word for it, the vagary and the accusation, and it's like the shadow boxing with their own trauma. And there could be a chance that the guy that you're talking to, not only is he not responsible for the trauma you experienced, but he's not looking to impose any more trauma. And simply because you have gone through a horrible thing, to which my heart does deeply go out to you, does not mean that every man is out there doing these things. No more than I actually believe that every woman is out there sucking off every best friend that she says she has no romantic interest in. You know what I'm saying?
Holy fuck. Matt says the BBC is maybe one of the most divisive sources of media right now because they pretend to be objective. They are clearing that. Yes, in this particular thing, I'm seeing how extremely not they are.
But they're British, and the Brits are like they're like Spock, the Vulcans. They're devoid of emotion. They're always
Do you remember James Roberts?
Yes.
He was not neutral. It was a devil.
Words where you describe
They're not my words.
coercion.
They're words you
and
found.
emotional
They're words you
manipulation.
found on the internet, and Sophie doesn't exist.
On
So
your
let's move on to
website,
the next
in
subject.
your voice.
Move on to the next subject.
No, I think I'll stick on this one for a minute. So there's other places in that same website where you say you get girls to fall in love with you, and they do it because they love you, because they want to do what you say. Convincing women to take part in some kind of business arrangement doesn't work long term because they're emotional. You've got to get them to fall in love with you.
Once
That's
again,
coercion, that's emotional manipulation, that's abuse.
what you found are clips from the internet, some text from the internet, and you're going to sit here and tell me that that's the reason I should be.
Your website, your words.
It's not my website.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Check my website. Next.
It's the website you've taken down, and I wonder why those comments have been taken down.
No website's been taken down. My website is the same. It's been the same for a very long time.
The comments on this website, on the original website, have been taken down, and I wonder why.
You are accusing me. I'm guessing what you're trying to say is you're accusing me. You're trying to say that I'm guilty of the things I'm accused of, and I'm emotionally manipulating people.
I'm saying that you have said you emotionally manipulated people here for your own financial gain.
No, absolutely not.
And I'm asking you about that.
Absolutely not is the answer. I look forward to the end of this trial. I look forward to clearing my name. I look forward to the BBC and the legacy media having to say not guilty and having to tell the truth. As I've said before,
They won't tell the truth. They'll lie. They'll still lie.
Absolute rigorous.
That's the problem with the legacy
destructive
media.
levels.
They believe in the lie that's going on where they don't have to tell the truth. Nowadays, in terms of this thing, and once again, I'm going to blame the lefties, right? The liberals.
He's talking about left-handed people. You sick bastards. Put the pen in the right hand where God intended it.
You sinister fucks. What I'm saying is like they don't believe in reality. They don't believe in reality because everything is this figurative nonsense, right? And so, I mean, it's heartbreaking. But we only have 20 minutes left.
We don't even have 20 minutes left. I have to I got a big day tomorrow.
I have a big day. I have to be up at 7, man. I've got a big day too. We need to talk about Daily Wire.
Okay, Jesus.
Oh, look at this guy trying to back off, back out of what is up, son. So we have to talk about the Daily Wire, right?
Yeah. Matt Walsh demonetized on YouTube. Matt Walsh, the creator of the documentary.
What is a woman? And
what is a woman?
But
What
it
is a
doesn't
woman?
sound. That's actually after several shit. So
Yeah.
you heard about the whole Twitter problem?
Yeah. What's the Twitter problem? Let me not say yes.
So here's what happens. They actually had a contract with Twitter.
Who's they?
Daily Wire.
Okay.
Put their videos on the site, and they said, you know what? For the start of Pride, we want to put up what is a woman. And so they normally said yes. They were like, yes, come join us, come start streaming shit on Twitter. And then suddenly they respond to it and they say, we've watched What is a Woman, and we've decided that this violates our policy.
Elon did this to you?
Yeah, so check this. So check this. They say they're like, you can put it up, but it will get no reach, and not even your followers can see it.
What? I was unaware of that.
So the Daily Wire flipped out. They used all their fucking marketing and all their whole thing, all their social media power to illustrate this and bring it up. And they're like, look at what they're doing. And finally, Elon Musk gets involved, and he's like, and he claims, he's like, I had no idea this was happening. He's like, and he claims, he's like, underlings were doing this. I had
the goddamn goblins I got from fucking Saruman are misbehaving again.
So this motherfucker not only allows them to do it, but he puts on his own post. He says every parent should watch this, and he put up the link. What is a woman?
Wow.
But they had to fight their fucking asses. They were ringing them through the public, man. And mad people are tweeting, "What the fuck, Elon? We thought you believed in free speech and shit." However, the reason why they cited we're not going to give you any reach is because of misgendering.
Wow. So it's crazy that you say that, because Candace is now starting to get the pressure from YouTube in regards to this very topic. So this kind of ties in the whole Daily Wire thing and the future of that network, which is hosted on this privately owned platform called YouTube. Right. What does the Daily Wire do? Are they at a crossroad? Right. Because Candace did a live today where she does Candace Owens things and doubled down and showed some videos and got some testimony in regards to, and she did it all in the name of Pride Month and lifting up trans voices. And I don't know. This one, I'm wondering if we play, but
let's play the beginning. Let's
play the beginning. You and I have, normal jobs.
Yeah. Let's play the beginning real quick.
I can only handle a little persecution. I can't handle big persecution.
We might get canceled for like 15 things we've done tonight. But that's the YouTube live. Am I right?
I mean, if you can wear a t-shirt over your face with holes in it, do anything.
Which I'm never gonna do. Fucking psychopath, right?
Absolutely.
I could not fucking believe what I had seen right there.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So let's
I think just right at the top here, I'm going to be super honest with you. There is a lot going on today. There's a lot going on at the Daily Wire, and there's a lot that went on over the weekend. And I can honestly say that this is the first time since producing this podcast that I genuinely don't want to do the show. I'm just so frustrated and so angry about things that are going on. But the only way that I can do the show is to be completely honest with you guys, and in the form of announcing to you exactly what is happening behind the scenes, and hopeful that it really just inspires a conversation, because I question even being on this platform at this moment. So we will talk about that and much more today coming up on Candace Owens.
So before we let her intro music go,
actually mute it while it's doing the intro music. Mute it.
What?
Mute it while it's doing the intro music.
All right. So basically, all right. I have to say, I feel her. I feel for that, and honestly, I feel the same way. I really just want to leave YouTube at this point.
Right.
They don't take care of me. They don't look after me, and they just have such horrible policies. It's totally fucking insane.
I understand completely what you're saying.
And our traverse is easy because we're not monetized,
right?
And they're like, "Don't worry, just a few more steps, and you'll get monetized."
Yeah,
I've been saying that for years, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, I feel her right now. What is the point of being a part of something that's you're monetized? But they can silence you or shut you up or cancel you or stop you at any time.
So, and does this lend credence to the Steven Crowder argument as to why he felt the contract from the Daily Wire was exploitative, knowing that full well he's going to be demonetized for what he says? You know what I'm saying? He's going to be demonetized. So maybe we see a little bit of his. Maybe I see a little bit of his argument here now in that moment. But in regards to this, man, I agree with everything you said, man. It's trippy, it's weird, and I hate to use terms like that. But in actuality, the claim to the content creator space here on YouTube, right, is especially when it comes to political discourse, political commentary, is that this is where you can come for a free exchange of ideas, man. That is what the fucking algorithm wants. That's what the meta wants right now.
That's what
Videos
it's
that are
meant for.
popping are about these topics. Quote unquote cultural war, quote unquote sex wars. Right? These are the things that are popping right now. And either one of those topics weighing in too heavily or too often can get you as a smaller channel pushed down further, as a bigger channel completely demonetized. Whereas what they're saying on, I guess, the right side of this conversation is that there is not that much attack on the left side of the conversation. And even more, again, I brought this up last week, but you look at a place like Twitch where no one, I think, in their right mind should be talking about anything. You have a young lady who got dug out on camera. You could see her boyfriend in the reflection.
Yes, I know.
She got a 7-day ban. And then again, I just want to throw this out there and let us never forget, I'm sure financially he's doing better than I am at this moment. We still don't know why Dr. Disrespect got banned. And I'm going to keep harping about this. Everything was alluded to, from sexual assault allegations to more infidelity.
Which,
on
by
his
the way,
wife.
if they did happen, they didn't even happen on camera.
Yeah.
As opposed to some of these people.
Yeah. So at any rate, but yeah, Candace's hair is laid and slayed, is what Beth is saying.
Yeah.
I agree.
Remix says yes. Candace, her hair is laid, honey. I need to know who does her blowouts. Yo, you should hit her up, yo.
Yo, you know what? Candace did extremely well with this contract on the Daily Wire. If she didn't work it into it, then she's doing her own makeup or whomever. But she really came to them with a vision of what it's supposed to be like to have like kind of this talk show presence, and how that, like, her presentation, Megyn Kelly can never touch this. Like, she is bringing something that a lot of women in the conservative spaces don't bring. And I'm going to say it. She's attractive. And she obviously clearly puts a lot of attention into being a type of classy attractive. Right?
I'm going to say something that will jeopardize our chance to ever interview Megyn Kelly.
Right.
She is trailer trash, and so she's a lovely woman. I like her. I think she's a lovely woman. She doesn't know how to bring class to her show.
Oh no.
As opposed to Liz Wheeler from OAN, who, when she went to YouTube, she has a very classy show. So
Mantis has got a thing for Maria LaRosa too, the local news lady for the tri-state area.
Oh yeah. Maria.
I'm sure her husband appreciated that gesture. You monster!
Yeah, he's surely watching. He's like, that fucking Mantis guy constantly hitting on my woman via the internet. Man says Dr. Disrespect did nothing wrong. Remax says yes. Candace cares about her image. I love that. I'm saying I love trad. I want a trad wife, and so I love a woman who does, does it up.
Yeah, she. That's a part of the presentation here. Hit play.
It said, "Oh yeah, Steve, did you see the photo shoot?"
Oh yes, it was Vogue level, and that was the first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, man, they really rolled out the red carpet for her, and they are appealing to a market. It's all fucking chess, Mantis. Listen, young conservative women who buy certain skincare products are going to inquire as to why Candace doesn't look like she ages at all and is completely moisturized at all times. They're going to see her high level of conservative fashion. She's working with designers. It's all, it's all interconnected, man. And when it comes to the presentation of women in media, Candace Owens is taking a clear swipe at the conversational piece that you have to dress a certain way or you're pushed into a certain way of being to be popular on TV or in these spaces. When in actuality, the first thing people notice about her is the thing she's saying, whether you think she is intellectually attractive or not. You know what I'm saying? That's what draws them in, her belief structure. But
the first thing they notice is that she's black. And then they be like, by the way, I love what you did with your space. So which is cool, which is totally cool. No offense to anything. But we love Candace Owens. It's so funny, Brett Cooper is like a and Candace Owens a simp.
Right.
Have you seen this?
No.
She does videos with Candace Owens where she's like,
wait, Brett Cooper is the little brunette, right?
Yeah, the little brunette. Like,
I thought that was Candace's white doppelganger.
Yes. and she clearly wants she's her mini-me. And like she goes to England with her and she's like, oh, tell me how to dress, tell me how to shop. And like it's super cute, actually.
You sick bastard.
Yeah, so D says she's always so classy. Hell yeah. Rebecca says, exactly. This is how you play the game. Absolutely. Let's see what our angry, beautiful Ebony Princess has to say.
The Daily Wire over the last couple of months. Obviously, my colleague Matt Walsh had his channel demonetized on YouTube. And the reasons for him being demonetized were a bit spurious, to be honest. They kind of did it overnight. They said they had flagged many videos, and essentially, I feel that he was targeted because he has been hitting out on gender issues.
My
He has
daughter
been
loves Brett
talking
Cooper.
about
So
women being women and
yeah.
men being men, and he believes
I
in
love
biology
Brett
and
Cooper
biological
when she
reality.
went being asked.
And so, for whatever reason, I think after What is a Woman came out, they really began to focus on his channel. Well, very recently, we found out that YouTube is also placing some focus on my channel as well as Michael Knowles' channel. And we were basically given an option to delete every video that I've ever done pertaining to gender, in which I have accurately gendered someone, which is now quite crazy to say this. Accurately gendering someone is now known as misgendering someone, and that is considered hateful conduct. So you may be noticing right now that my channel had a lot more videos on it last Friday, and now a lot of those videos are missing.
And so I understand Steven Crowder's complaint about joining the Daily Wire. Like one of his points was, if we are conservatives and we do our thing, why are we playing YouTube's game if it's hyper liberal? And that makes fucking complete sense, because why should she delete all her videos when she's accurately gendering someone?
Oh man, I keep talking, my brother, because I want to juxtapose this to how this works on the other side. I'm going to mute myself for a second because I'm going to be
Oh yeah,
typing
no, it's
furiously
totally
for a
fine, but
second.
it really frustrates me that all they're doing is, the mere fact of gendering. If you go to the basics of freedom of speech, how is it that merely gendering somebody correctly or incorrectly, no matter how well you swing it, somehow that gets a strike, and somehow you lose your video, and somehow you get demonetized, is utterly insane. And she says it later on in this video. Spoiler alert, I've seen her video, I've watched this right here, but she says one of the problems is it's not saying this or that. The problem is that YouTube won't even let you speak the truth. And so let's say you're it's midnight and you're outside. You're not allowed to say that it's the night. Right? And I'm saying, like, you're in a car and you're like, I'm driving. You're not allowed to say you're driving. That is literally fucking insane. And I don't want to be part of it. And I'm so sick of YouTube culture. I'm so sick of all this shit. I'm struggling so hard. I'm working so hard for these sons of bitches, and I have yet to obtain anything from them. YouTube has given me nothing but a fucking headache. So I don't understand why I don't understand why the pay scale for the Daily Wire is that. When they can go to other places. I'm telling you, we should all go to Rumble, because I have a feeling that it's gonna happen. And honestly, I think this idea that Twitter streaming is gonna be the new thing, I don't think it is.
I'm hoping it is, but I just want to comment on something really quickly, man. I was trying to find the video, but I don't have the time to do it because we don't have the time in the show. But the Majority Report with what's his name, Sam Sneeder, his co-host, whose name escapes me, I believe is Anna. She recently, I'm just juxtaposing the approach on these conversations and what's appropriate. She literally came out and said the other day when someone was responding to her view on transgender women playing with biological women in sports. And her argument was surmised at the end of it. They said she was wrong. They agree with her conclusion, but they felt like the way she got there was incorrect. So it ruins her entire point. And then she said, I don't care about the science. If a few people have to be inconvenienced because of a dumb competitive sport for the long-lasting societal implications of accepting trans women in, I do not care. I don't care about the science. Underneath Candace's video right now is a COVID-19 marker that has to do with misinformation or making sure you get the correct information, right? And that entire promo there is based upon the fact that they believe that they have scientific empirical data that says that what these people are saying is wrong. So on one end of YouTube's argument, the chick from the Majority Report can say she doesn't care about science at all, right? In regards to information and misinformation. But then in this topic, like you can
probably
get
doesn't
double
even
whammy.
address COVID very much in this episode, and somehow there's like
Well,
a
she does
warning
because it
sign.
goes into the Jamie Foxx thing. The next part of this segment is about the Jamie Foxx thing.
right.
So
Because I didn't get past the
yeah, I did. I'm a professional. I got to watch shit that.
I'm not professional. Let's see
You're-
what our queen has to say.
I feel, to be completely honest with you, completely conflicted about this. I feel that it is capitulating to stay
I
on.
honestly feel that if she were to interview me,
Oh boy.
she would cheat on her husband.
Oh boy.
I feel like if Candace was ever to be like, I'm gonna interview the Fat Mantis, I feel like I could finagle, something.
Finagle, he says. What
At least
you
a
gonna
hand.
barter for it? You gonna hey, so what I got 3 sandwiches over
No,
here.
no,
What
no,
are you
no.
thinking? 4.5. What do you
Obviously, that's absurd. I'd offer something much more than sandwiches. The chance to touch the mantis. Yo, Matt says YouTube is the devil, not today, Satan. I love that. But anyway, let's see what our queen has to say.
On a platform that is demanding that we lie. And it is shocking to me that any platform, any business, whether it is a private business or a public business, can compel people to say things that are not true. Actually, Michael Knowles said something. If you guys happened to have caught the Twitter audio that we did last week when we were promoting What is a Woman, Michael Knowles said something that I thought was really, really important and heavy to consider. He said, the question is not whether or not we have free speech. Maybe perhaps I could deal with a platform that didn't have free speech. But the question is whether or not we are allowed to say true things. And that's where we're at right now in America. Think about that. Are we allowed to say true things? Maybe I can't freely say things, but am I allowed to say something that is abundantly true? Are you allowed to say in America that Candace Owens is a Black woman? And if the answer to that is no, then we need to fully acknowledge that we are losing our civilization. What I can say to you is that the answer to that is definitively no on YouTube. You are not allowed to say true things, depending how it makes somebody feel. So you cannot acknowledge, for example, that I am a Black woman if I wake up one day and I decide that that's not how I feel on the inside. Maybe today I say, I feel like a Hispanic male. And then you make a video and you say, Candace Owens is a Black woman. And YouTube will support me. They will take down your video and they will penalize you. And if you do that repeatedly, if you keep saying, no, Candace Owens is a Black female, they will demonetize you. They will risk your livelihood. If your livelihood has been established by the money that you make on YouTube, YouTube will target you and they will take it down.
And that's
now,
the thing.
I cannot.
Daily Wire, I understand that they have subscriptions for their own website, but
Right.
they need to stop depending on YouTube money. And I'm saying, can we just all go to Rumble? What's going on?
Bro, so here's this thing goes deeper than that, man. I've had some conversations with a friend of mine that shall remain nameless. And I've always said, it's more than just leaving YouTube, right? Because all these things exist on servers owned by quote unquote liberals, right? It's about the infrastructure to truly be independent. And if you're telling me that Elon's money could not, and it's his money, he does what he does with it, but I would have invested in a server for him, man. Yes, trillions of dollars would need to be spent. I get that. But what's the point if all of this can be removed from an app store? Just like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if it can be removed from an app store, just like that.
Although I remember when people were being assholes about, like, they're like, we're going to remove Twitter from the App Store. Elon Musk literally said, I'll make my own phone company and Twitter will be on every phone. And who isn't going to buy an Elon Musk phone, right?
Isn't that like the premise for the original Kingsman movie? Some eccentric billionaire comes out with free phones.
Shit. You're right. But that's what he said. Basically, he said when they threatened him, he publicly said, I'll make a Twitter phone.
Right. Different than the Patriot phone, which was a complete scam. And shame on all you conservatives, you idiots that bought the Patriot phone.
They were hopeful people. These poor hopeful people, Matt says, you're very professional, Mantis. Thank you. I don't know where that's coming from.
Because I insinuated that I was a professional, and I said I was a professional. You thought I was insinuating that you're not.
Oh, right. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I try to be a professional, even though I'm constantly talking about my lust for Candace. What up, girl? Anyway, let's see what else she has to say.
Personally capitulate to that, like forgetting any standards, forgetting anybody else, just me as a human being, as a Christian woman, as somebody who is a patriot and who very much believes in free speech. And I would say probably most importantly, as a mother that understands what the implications are of this discussion that we are having, what the implications are for my young children, for my 2-year-old son, and for my 11-month-old daughter. If we are adults and we are too afraid to acknowledge reality because we are afraid that we are going to lose money, I can't have that level of cowardice.
Reality. Am I the only
that
one?
when my
Like, come
children
on,
are
guys.
of school age, they will have to deal with the consequences of my cowardice. I can't do it. It really impacts me. So the question becomes, how do we fight them, right? How do we fight them? Because the truth is that these people do have a lot of power. And if they just begin to wipe away conservative pages and we say, oh, we're just going to go on these lesser established platforms, we won't have the same reach. And reach is obviously critical. We have obviously been able to use our reach to affect great change. Obviously, you probably saw this over the last couple of days with the success of What is a Woman, which I think is up to something like 150 million views on Twitter, because Matt agrees with me. He cannot do that. He cannot morally.
Yo, What is a Woman is currently the most watched documentary in history.
Shut the front door. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
It has more views than any documentary ever.
Holy smokes.
They sit here and lie to people because of how they feel on the inside. Well, I think that for me, especially considering that it is Pride Month, I am going to re-examine my viewpoints of how I talk about this topic.
Where I can't keep watching. And so I love my beautiful queen, right? However, I was watching this and she has someone on the show who says certain things that sicken me to my core and made me lose my lunch. And so I'm not going to continue with this particular video. However, we will continue with the discussion. This is our final wrap-up show. I know you have to go.
So crazy thing, man. Crazy thing.
Matt says, what is a Woman was good. I'm thinking of reviewing it. I think it was very good.
It was a good documentary for sure, man. There's no ifs and buts about it. Even if it's crazy, man. You could literally put two very impactful documentaries in the same argument, like where people replace it. Do you remember Fahrenheit for 9/11 and how polarizing that was?
Oh my God,
I
yes.
really think that in regards to polarizing documentaries, it's Fahrenheit 9/11 and it's What Is a Woman? And these are like you put those
Obviously
things on, you're gonna get
opposite.
a cracking in any conversation. But what Candace is talking about, man, it's a true thing, man. It's like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? How do you continue to spread your message? How do you continue to entertain free thought and blah 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 on a platform that says, hey, you take it too far, we will spank you for it? And we all understand the rules, right? That's why I think some of these people have to be paid up. Like the fact that I'm not Abba and Preach, Fresh and Fit is still on the air for a plethora of reasons is amazing to me. They've been pulled down once, but they're back. The Daily Wire, though, I think, don't feel sorry for them because they put all their eggs in one basket, but they did something amazing. I really think that as they continue to get more and more into the entertainment space, why not just fuck it, man? Take the chance. I know you don't get ad revenue, I assume, right? Your sponsors would follow you over for privately hosted website. Maybe your audience will go to Rumble, but I get what she's saying. Rumble is not in a place where it has that reach yet. So it's what do you
It's
do,
fucking
man?
depressing, man.
What do you do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Sneeko has a pretty, active chat on Rumble.
Remember, Stinko is not nearly on their level, which is why he's fine going to Rumble.
Right. He had no alternative. He was banned.
Yeah, he was banned, so he has to. But I'm saying I love it how Matt Walsh and Steven Crowder continue to get banned. There was one day that I went on lunch from my job, and I just looked on Rumble. I always check Rumble real quick, and I saw that the Steven Crowder had a video called "Fuck YouTube," and that was literally what it said. And I said, "Well, I have to tune into this," and I clicked on it. Sure enough, he said, within the last 24 hours, they've given various things I've done throughout the years, not years, but months, strike. And he ended up getting 5 strikes in the course of 24 hours. I mean, obviously, Twitter, like somebody had said on YouTube, review all their shit, find an excuse to give a strike.
It's a crazy thing, man. It's a crazy thing. And
he's not even that crazy.
Well, bro, look at what Jordan Peterson's going through too, man. Look, you know what I'm saying? Like Jordan Peterson, I looked at one of his videos and I was like, that shit's 5.1 million views. How many of those views are from his fans, and how many of those views are people just coming to interact and hate watch your shit? And like, but it's good though, right? Because you're getting something that obviously people are being deprived of in their day-to-day, which is a contrarian view, the opposite view of your own. How can you grow if you never encounter these things? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But they hold the power. So what's to do? Some rich billionaire or trillionaire is gonna have to pony up some of that money, because I say they should. Communism, right? You see where I'm going with this? And they have to build us a good server farm, or deal with the environmental issues, whichever.
Or I'm hoping that God does another Sodom and Gomorrah and just fucking turns these hateful places into salt.
Right.
And so that would do away with the YouTube elites. That would do away with all sorts of elites.
I just heard that Tool song in my head. Hey.
I keep it real. What can I say?
Keep it real. My brother, another great episode, man. Bro,
killed
mind if I shout out some stuff real quick? Pillow Talk is going to be going back to Thursdays. Bex will keep you guys all up to speed on that. Just did a great interview over
on Clubhouse.
Yeah, Clubhouse. Yes, sir. Okay. Until otherwise,
Clubhouse at 10.
Clubhouse at 10 Thursday nights. Pillow Talk. Make sure you come through, man. Great conversation. We're going to be talking about, I believe this week, if it's on Thursday, we're going to be talking about the worst advice you've gotten for a friend for your relationship. And oh boy, I can't wait to get into it. Last week we talked about love triangles, and man, go listen to that episode. Bex was hilarious on that episode. She did not answer one question. She literally became.
I heard that episode live, and I love how you can be like, "So Max, are you part of this thing?" And she just kept dodging the question. What up, Banks?
Yo, but I did an interview over at the fabulous Miss Marvel Storm channel over on YouTube. That was a great conversation, and yeah, man, you know, more to come. Fanboys every Monday. Pillow Talk.
Yo, Matt
every
says,
Thursday.
"Great stream, you guys. Bummer, I was late. I listened to the
Matt, thank you for
replay.
coming through.
Can't wait for the next one." Yo, thank you, Matt. You are an amazing dude. Thank you for being such a great fan and friend. You're amazing. Leave a link to Pillow Talk. I want to listen.
I got you, Matt.
But yeah, no, it sounds great. Yo, guys, I don't know how many of you are into it or how many people were even still here. However, yo, check me out on Autolist, man. The Autolist app.
I enjoyed it. I
Everyone,
enjoyed your show, man.
thank you so much. Autolist, man. Yo, check it out. I do on Hot 95. I do the morning show, and I do it every day, every weekday. So it's an ongoing hustle. It's a good time, and we play today's best music.
That's right, Matt. I put a link in for Pillow Talk. All right, now let's get the hell out of here. I got
Let's
ramen
get out of
noodle.
here. Let's get out of here.
I got ramen noodle to eat. We got to get the theme song on one of our boards. I realize that's why the goodbyes are so awkward. Folks, make sure you check out the Fat Mantis on Autolist every morning, 6 a.m., doing his thing. And make sure you check out Pillow Talk over on Clubhouse. This is Fanboy Modeling School. Mantis, sign us out. And that's it. You only get one sign out.
Well, I don't know what to say now. Until next time, ciao for now, bitches.
Ooh, we mean that in the